Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I say what you are thinking. Before we jump into our latest hellscape, which courtesy of the Democrats and the filthy Republican Party that have stabbed us in the back, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel and share this content because, as we know, the left and the woke overlords with their boots on all of our necks are doing whatever they can to stomp out any dissent or any thought that is not in lockstep with the current leftist orthodoxy. So please share my content and share my article this week on angelasoapbox.com. It is entitled, in case you haven't figured it out, The Democrats Hate You. And that's where we're going to start today. But before we do, the straw this week, and I like to dedicate a sea turtle killing plastic straw to, generally speaking, a filthy leftist or sometimes a recalcitrant, weak-kneed Republican who deserves it. But this week, the straw goes to our entire woke overlords trying to destroy us all. So this one's for you. I might as well enjoy this straw while I can, right? Pretty soon they're going to make me put on a mask in my own house to do a video. That will never happen, but this straw is for you, the woke overlords. And I want to jump in to my thesis this week about how the Democrats hate you. And when I say you, I mean normal America, because what we are witnessing right now with the wholesale defamation of half the country, blaming President Trump for the riot that took place, the incursion that took place on January 6th, when now we've seen more and more has come out, as I predicted, as those of us on the right predicted, because what we saw was not Trump supporters. What we saw was Antifa and Black Lives Matter who infiltrated the Trump supporters. And not only that, we have one arrest so far, a man named Jake Sullivan, a BLM activist, and he was working with a CNN reporter named Jordan Sacker, I believe is her name, and she was super excited to break into the Capitol. She's like, "Oh my God, we did it! We totally did it! You didn't say you said we could do it, and we totally did! Oh my God, we totally broke in, and we're gonna blame it on Trump." That's what we're in the middle of right now. This upside down, topsy-turvy world where because our dominant culture is status quo left, and it's now becoming not just left, but liberal fascism to an nth degree. Because our whole culture is like that, we have no one to defend us anymore. Like, Trump was it. We've seen exactly what the Republican Party thinks of us. People like Mitch McConnell, whose office I called in, I think I called him in Louisville, and I called his Frankfurt office because you could not get in on the Capitol Hill switchboard last week for anything. So I called his local office and I said, "I will make it my personal mission in life to make sure you are defeated and you are never, ever reelected." I mean, this man is such a traitor, such a turncoat, such a backstabber to the man and the people in this movement who put him into power. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So what Democrats are promising, and because they hate us, and the left, again, the liberal orthodoxy hates us, they're going to do everything they can do to make our lives miserable. And that includes putting America last. So if President Trump's philosophy of America first is what brought us this unparalleled economic success over the last 4 years, until, of course, the Rona magically appeared, bioweapon, China, Democrats. Anyway, I digress. I think that's going to come out to be in short order as well to prove that was the case, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. But anyway, ever since President Trump made America first his mission, the left has had to reflexively be anti that. So anything Trump is supporting, they're anti that. So we're energy independent now. They're like, no, we're going to kill the Keystone Pipeline. We're going to implement the Paris Climate Accord, and we're going to shove the Green New Deal down your throat. So get ready for $6 a gallon gasoline, just like in California. Because isn't California exactly the model that all of us should be aspiring to? I mean, I guess that's why basically 250 to 500 people, I can't remember the exact number, But that's how many people are leaving California every day, because California is just so awesome in doing it right. Anyway, so there's that. Biden is putting in a transgender person, a transgender woman, excuse me. She's a woman because she says she's a woman. This transgender person, Rachel Levine, who graced our television screens and all of us shut them off immediately during the COVID scam of last summer. She's out of Philadelphia, and did you see I used her preferred pronoun? Anyway, she's going to be now the assistant director of health, so that should be real fun. So priorities on day one: amnestying illegals, shoving transgender bathrooms down everyone's throat, and making sure boys can play in girls' sports if they put a dress on and claim they're a girl. Let's see, what else? Dismemberment, abortion. That's going to be fun. And getting rid of the Mexico City policy, which will make federal funding of abortions like a constitutional right and stuff. And it's just going to be so awesome. Let's see. Who else? Kristen Clark. Dr. Kristen Clark, who is one of these woke Nazis out of Harvard. And again, I wonder how she got into Harvard. I can't imagine how. Oh, that's right, because she's black and female. Anyway, so Kristen Clark, in the early 90s, when she was at Harvard, and this is the woman Joe Biden is putting in charge of the Civil Rights Organization, or the Civil Rights Department in the Department of Justice. So this woman in the 90s said that black people are more spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, and physically evolved and superior because of the melanin in their skin. Hey, what? So again, turning on the face the whole concept of content of character over color of skin. I mean, this is the new racism, and it is brought to us by the left, which, you like the new boss? It's the same as the old boss. The left brought in the old racism, and now they're bringing in the new racism under the cover, of course, of diversity and inclusion and tolerance. But diversity, inclusion, and tolerance only go one way, because as we have seen from the left, they are making it their mission to destroy any opposing thought. They don't want to have conversations with us. See, free speech absolutists like I am and like most on the right are, we believe in a robust argument and a discussion of ideas, and may the best ideas win. But that is not what the left thinks. And we are now seeing that more and more clearly than ever. The left wants total obedience and submission. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to cut your head off. Now, I don't mean it in an Al-Qaeda way or an ISIS way, although, I mean, we could get to that point. We are in the middle of our own French Revolution after all. But I mean, they're going to get you fired. They're going to get you canceled. They're going to dox you. They're going to threaten your family. They're going to threaten your children. They're going to cause you bodily harm or vandalize your property until you submit. And unfortunately, scum-sucking pieces of garbage like Mitch McConnell, Liz Cheney, and any other piece of crap who voted for this impeachment scam and are threatening now to convict a president who's not going to be there anymore, they are as much of an enemy as the left is. And, sorry, a little hair there. And as far as I'm concerned, they are to be on our list as much as any leftist. And, you know, the left likes to make lists of Trump supporters who they're going to torment for canceling and make sure that they have no ability to work or earn a living or take care of their families. But you know who else can make lists? Patriots can make lists. And as we have seen more and more fascistic multinational companies come out and smear and defame half this country, when again it was, as we were going to find out more and more, BLM and Antifa in a coordinated effort to make this Capitol incursion happen, and the police officers just letting people in, and hey, you want to come in? Sure, come on in. And making it seem like it was the Trump supporters who did all this violence, when again, that is not our calling card. That is what the left does. And I have yet to see any one of these scum-sucking Republicans demand that the people responsible for all last summer's violent mayhem and burning and murder of police officers and assaulting of citizens and murderings of citizens, they have never been held accountable. The BLM, the Antifa, the scum-sucking left, the pieces of garbage who are tearing this country apart, not one of them has been brought to justice. But the FBI, corrupted as it is going to go after every single National Guard person who is in D.C. for this big inauguration that's taking place tomorrow. And they're going to make sure that none of them are, vocal Trump supporters. Otherwise, they're considered threats. And they're actually saying that these men who are putting their lives on the line in the National Guard or in the active duty military, that these people are terrorists and they're going to try and assassinate Biden. It is such character defamation. It is such a smearing of traditional patriotic Americans that it turns my stomach. And it just makes me realize more and more that we cannot coexist with these people. They don't want to coexist with us. And frankly, I don't want to coexist with them. So whenever this cold civil war turns into a hot one, and it will, because Biden is, like all leftists, is going to overstep and overreach and attempt to make our lives even more hell than they are doing right now, it will at some point turn into a hot civil war. Don't know when it's going to happen, not encouraging it, but it will happen. Because there's only so much Americans are going to take. There's only so much theft of this election. We know that President Trump won. There is a mountain of physical, irrefutable evidence that proves the Democrats cheated, and that China and Iran and other countries, Germany, Italy, whatever, were in on it. It's overwhelming, but no courts will hear it. No media will report it. We have corporations that are attempting to silence people based on political beliefs. It can't go on. It can't go on. And there are Jews that are waking up to this tyranny and realizing that this has a real familiar ring to it. Very, 1933 Germany, where Jews had to wear a Star of David. And that's basically what Trump supporters are going to be forced to do, to identify ourselves. And the problem with today's Nazis and the Nazis on the left, and that's exactly what they are, fascist, totalitarian Nazis, is that because they control all the levers of society, essentially, social media, mega corporations, Hollywood, academia, big tech, obviously, bureaucracy, et cetera, and it's a worldwide leftist gulag fascism, they're going to just think that this is perfectly acceptable behavior. Like, well, of course we should target and torment Trump supporters. Well, of course we should, because they're Nazis, they're fascists. And even though their actions are entirely fascistic, entirely totalitarian, and right out of the playbook of every dictator known to man since the beginning of time, they instead gaslight us and try and make it seem like that we are the fascists and we're the totalitarians. And I will just say this. Trump supporters, normal Americans, people who just want to make a living, raise their families, live free or die, we are not the problem. They are the problem. They are the ones targeting people for speech that they don't like. They're the ones targeting people like Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, who's suddenly become a big cog in this ongoing wheel. Targeting him for destruction. Targeting any person or any company that supports the president for destruction. That is fascism. That is totalitarianism. And pretty soon, when we have the people of all the big tech companies and Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, etc., in Joe Biden's cabinet or surrounding Joe Biden, that's now a government sanction of fascism. And so I don't expect to be on YouTube much longer, frankly. I'm working on downloading all my videos and making sure I have an archive of that, because I'm going to probably head over to Bitchute. This may be the first video that I put on Bitchute in addition to YouTube, so we'll see how that goes. It's getting really bad, guys. And you have to wonder, why this reaction to normal everyday Americans? I'll tell you why. Because they know that they cheated, we outnumber them, but we don't have the means of control to stop them right now. They run the whole show. They run everything. So when we have a group of 25, 30,000 troops in DC right now, why? Something's fishy, something stinks. I don't know what the whole story is, but I'll tell you what, it's not for Trump supporters, because Trump supporters are not going to be falling for your little false flag event again, like some of them did on January 6th. They're not doing it. And keep in mind again, they are hunting down every single person that went to that rally. They are finding them on social media. Pieces of garbage companies like Delta and United are putting them on no-fly lists, but not one single piece of, I almost said it, from Antifa or Black Lives Matter has been met with the same scrutiny, shall we say. Oh no, because, their names say, oh, they're anti-fascist. Oh, their name says Black Lives Matter. Don't you agree with that, you racist? You see how they've corrupted, how they've twisted the language to their benefit? Well, it's time we start taking it back. It's time we start taking it back. And Joe Biden, who couldn't get 15 people to show up at a rally with that demonic heathen Senator knee pads at his side, and we want to all of a sudden believe that this is the most popular politician in American history who got 80 million votes? I don't think so. So we'll see what happens tomorrow during the inauguration. We'll see what goes down. But I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, we're not seeing the whole picture. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. There is a reason the left is so panicked and is trying to stomp us all out, because they know our numbers far outnumber them. We far outnumber them, and they know it. They know they cheated. They know they got caught. They're just lucky that they control all the measures of our society right now. But hopefully the light will shine on all of these cockroaches and they will scurry. But the big old bomb of raid is going to wipe them all out with the disinfecting purity of truth, because truth is the only thing that's going to save us, and God is the only thing that's going to save us. So just keep in prayer, Patriots. I'm constantly in some sort of state of prayer, prayers of thankfulness, prayers of protection around President Trump and the people around him. But pray for ourselves, because these people are demons and they're coming after us. So, again, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on my traditional social medias. I am on Gab at The Box That Rocks. I will leave everything linked down below. Again, please share this content if it inspires you at all or whatever. And hope to see you next week. We'll see how it goes. Bye.